up? This is your boy Solo, and I'm here to talk about that Knicks game last night. The New York Knicks faced the Washington Wizards. Today is March 26th, but we're going to talk about that game last night. There's a lot to talk about. Where do I start? Well, the Knicks was doing terrible at the beginning. Let's be honest. They were doing bad. At one point of the game, they were down by 17. But throughout the whole game, I just had that feel that they would come back, I know their defense is really good. So once you have very good defense, it keeps you in games. Offense still needs some help, but I just knew that they would come back. There was a play in the game that really, I feel, changed the whole momentum. I don't know if y'all remembered it, but it was when Gibson caught the ball and he just dunked on the team. Remember that? I feel like that's when the momentum changed and everything started going our way. Let's give a shout out. Mitchell Robinson didn't really play too much last night. He was a little off, but it's fine. He's still coming back from that injury, the fracture in his right hand. Julius Randle had, I think he got an injury in his calf. So we were watching that very closely. It looked like it was bothering him. So it kind of affected his game a little. But he did come up with like 2 clutch shots at the end. Let's talk about Derrick Rose. Still hasn't come back yet from the whole COVID thing. He had COVID-19, which is crazy because they kept that like kind of hidden for a while because I know that he was going through a protocol, but they didn't actually say he had COVID. But yeah, that ended up being the case. R.J. Barrett. That's who I want to talk about right now. Man, R.J. Barrett, let's first start with his stats. He had 24 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and I think like 2 steals. R.J. Barrett had one of those type of games where it's like the person is scoring, but you wouldn't think that they had that many points because it looked like they were struggling throughout the game. He ended up really saving us, to be real. He really saved us last night. It was crazy. We were down by 17, and out of nowhere, the Knicks just started coming back. Also, Alec Burks. Oh my gosh, these last couple of games have been ridiculous. I think for the last 4 or 5 games, he scored at least 20 points. Last night, Alec Burks had 27 points and 6 rebounds. Clutch threes. With the Knicks down by a few points, knocking it down. Even when we started making our comeback and the Wizards noticed it. Shout outs to the Wizards, by the way, because in the first game we destroyed them by like 20. And they did come out and they said, you know what? We're not going to get embarrassed like that again. We got to give a bigger effort. So they really did do that, which is cool. You never want to see blowouts, to be honest. I mean, I'm a big Knicks fan, so I'm always take those. You know what I mean? But I still say, like, I love to see a competitive game, So they did come out. They came out with fire. They came out with energy, and they did their thing. But the Knicks, man, we did great. That was a huge win. Right now, we're tied for 4th in the East with Charlotte Hornets, which is great. And who would have thought, right? Like, because I think this is how the standing goes right now. It's Sixers, Milwaukee, the Brooklyn Nets, and then the Knicks is tied for 4th right after the Brooklyn Nets. Who would have thought that would have happened? That is crazy. So we have a lot to be proud about. The schedule coming up, though, is going to be tough. Like, I looked over April's schedule, and it's going to be really, really tough. We have a lot of contenders. Even coming up, the next game, I think it's Monday, if I'm not mistaken. They're playing the Milwaukee Bucks. Let me tell you something about that game. I feel like the Knicks could beat anyone as long as they continue playing with the defense that they come out with. The reason we really lost the last game to Milwaukee is because Mitchell Robinson wasn't there. That's what I believe as a Knicks fan. Y'all tell me otherwise, I don't know, but that's what I believe. Milwaukee was too tall. They were too tall for them. They had Brook Lopez. They had Antetokounmpo. They were just too tall. It was just too much. If you noticed, if you really watched that game, you know what I'm talking about. They were getting easy rebounds. The Knicks were just standing around, even though Nerys Noel has been playing amazing during Robinson's absence. It just wasn't enough. I feel like this time around, we have a really good chance. No lie, a really, really good chance with Mitchell Robinson right there. And for somebody that just came back from an injury, he's looking pretty good. So I'm looking forward to that game. We have a game against Brooklyn coming up where, I can't wait for that one. We can't wait for that one, actually. Knicks Nation, let's go. We can't wait for that one because we know we could beat them. Every game has come up, just a little shy of the win. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Once again, this is your boy Solo. I just wanted to come through, give you a little quick recap on the game last night. It was a good one. Let me talk about the trade deadline for a few. Don't be upset that we didn't actually trade for anyone. It actually works out better for us. Someone like Alonzo Ball, yes, we probably could have put a package together and got him, but at the end of the day, he's not. The only thing that scared me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, was how Chicago moved yesterday. The picks that they went and got. I mean, not the picks, the players they went and got. You could tell that they're really trying to fight to get that playoff position in. So Lonzo going to a team like Chicago, I could actually see that happening. But we want him here. We want him with New York. And this free agency is going to be really, really interesting. We have a lot of options. We have a lot of assets. We have a lot of money, a lot of cap space. So we'll see what happens. Once again, this was me coming through with a recap. Catch y'all with Milwaukee. Hopefully we could pick up this win. Keep stacking it up. Let's go, Knicks Nation.